Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful and joyous day. On the date of this drop, it will coincidentally be United States Presidential Inaugural Day and also Martin Luther King Day. So however you celebrate, I wish you much joy. I didn't plan on today's topic correlating with either, but here we are. You couldn't have two more polar opposite egos being presented today. And everybody has an ego. It's what makes you you. So let's get into it. The ego, it is the I of the person, a person that's thinking, feeling, willing, and distinguishing itself from all others. Everybody's ego is unique. We're like snowflakes. Every ego is a snowflake, totally unique. You can't change it. That's just who we are. And let's discuss healthy ego traits really quick. Healthy ego contributes positively to the psychological well-being of a functioning person. An unhealthy ego can lead to negative psychological instability. The key is to bring the ego back in balance. And there are 5 traits of a healthy ego. One, the healthy ego appreciates validation without relying on it for self-worth. Secondly, the healthy ego is secure with their self-esteem and abilities, which can weather any storm without affecting their self-esteem. Thirdly, a healthy ego accepts their mistakes and they're open to admitting mistakes. Fourth, a healthy ego takes accountability for their actions. And lastly, a healthy ego contributes to relationships positively and a healthy balance of such, where individuals can give and receive support, as we all should, for each other. I recognized into month 5 of my unemployment journey and door dashing at the same time, I was feeling desperate and the rejection was real, and I needed to surrender to it, and I finally did. I was mentally exhausted, as I said, and defeated. And after a extremely long, hot summer of delivering groceries up people's stairs and carrying flats of water up people's stairs, I was done. I was just exhausted. I cried in my car. I said things to myself of, you're too good to be doing this. I went to college. I shouldn't be in this position. Why are people that don't have as much experience as I do getting the jobs that I want? I'm an amazing event planner. I'm this, and it was all qualities about my jobs, my former positions. And hello, entitlement. I felt because I had put in all these years, 20 years behind me, that why wouldn't anyone want to hire me? And it's true, why wouldn't anyone want to hire me? But it's not necessarily what I want. It's what the universe is putting me into. And obviously, I was meant to go through this experience right now to learn some things about myself. And the first thing is working on it. Just presented itself. Okay, you're defeating yourself through your ego. So let's change. A kind acquaintance, a very kind acquaintance of mine gave me some sage advice. Every morning when I wake up, look up and say, universe, please give me a joyous and miraculous gift today. All right. Wait and see. But slowly it did, and I started to write it down, and it was more or less less of, I am grateful for a sunny day today. That's pretty basic. It became things as, I am grateful for the extra $5 tip that I received, or I'm grateful for the larger order that was given to me through the algorithm, because I had started to build up, you see, through the DoorDash algorithm, the more people that give you 5-star reviews and the more houses that you deliver to that give you 5-star reviews, the more often you're going to get those orders for those addresses, and also get orders with larger pay. So I had to also work my way up. When I first started door dashing again, I was at the very bottom, and you have to deliver a certain amount of orders in order to reach the status of being able to receive the high paying orders. So in the beginning, I was receiving $4, $6. I was losing my mind. And then slowly, over a period of 2 to 3 months, I began to get to know. I changed the way I approach people rather than just dropping off groceries on someone's door. If I was able to speak with them, I would speak with them genuinely and say, hello, how are you? Do you need me to carry, especially if it's an elderly person, do you need me to put these inside the door for you? Is there anything else I can do for you? And I was bringing the hospitality part of me into this position, which has benefited me, because I received comments of, you're so friendly, you're so nice. No one unpacks my groceries for me. And this is just something I've earned their trust over almost a year now. I've earned the senior citizens' trust, that they know I can come in, have a chit chat with them, give them some joy, and recognition, and maybe a short conversation, whereas they're isolated, they don't talk to anybody all day long, and ask them about their day, or something you notice, a photo on the wall, or are you having a party? Something, just creating a conversation with them, and they appreciate it so much, and it's genuine. It comes from my heart because I grew up around old people. I'm an only child of an only child, so I didn't have any. I have 2 wonderful stepsisters, but they didn't live with us. So I spent a lot of time alone, and then at family and I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, who would then take me to their friends' houses who were their age. And so the only aunts I had were great aunts, and the only cousins I have were second cousins. So I spent a lot of time with older people, so I relate to them. So back to, see, ADHD, plugging in again. Back to asking for joy on a daily basis, asking for a joyous gift. It's a lesson in gratitude, because then you start to recognize that these gifts that you're given throughout the day. I started making a gratitude list. It became more elaborate than, like I said, just, I'm grateful that it was cool today, or there was no traffic. But that could be gratitude too, if nothing else eventful, but you start to recognize these things. And then I started to examine why it makes me feel the way it does. I carry a journal with me in my car, and throughout the day, if it's slow and I'm waiting for my next offer, I'll sit there and I'll journal, or I'll write down things that I want to accomplish as far as task-wise, keeping my ADHD on track. Um, and I'm very fortunate to be able to do that. I'd write down the same things that I'd want to accomplish each day. One day I'll show that to you. And then I started to write down, okay, I'm feeling gratitude, but when I get angry, what is triggering that anger or frustration? What's going back to that? We call that shadow work. You're attacking the shadows deep down in your brain and saying, well, okay, when this person talks to me the way they do, why am I triggered? Why does it frustrate me? Why does it anger me? And I write down the reason why, and then I can pinpoint back to a point in my childhood or young adult life where something had happened that stayed with me in my head and it became a trigger. So acknowledging those triggers and taking time to think about them, it is a huge step in healing your ego and turning your ego around. Day by day, I began to change. I, I was healing myself and I was beginning to appreciate things more and looking at life with more joy. And like I said, seeing the benefit of what I get, what I'm doing by door dashing, not feeling as insecure, because when you tell people you're a door dasher, they look at you and they're like, oh, no, like I might have a felony or some kind where I can't get a job or, some kind of past. And it became, I don't care what people think because they're not paying my rent. They don't pay my bills. And and we'll talk about manifestation next time, but I also started to write down all the things I want to manifest. And one of those things was giving back and being able to work with older people and work with kids and do good things for them. But I was thinking on a far more elaborate way. But I found through all the older people that I met through my door dashing throughout the day, I was doing good things for older people and younger people. And people don't, in my community, we have a very large senior community, and a lot of them can't get out and drive or don't like to drive in the rain or can't carry heavy bags for whatever reason. So they utilize the grocery delivery portion, and those are most of the orders that I receive because they're higher paying orders. And I started to see, oh, I am giving back. Okay, this works. Because I'm getting joy. I'm taking joy from this. I'm giving joy, and the smile on their face when you see that they're happy that someone has done something nice for them, it makes you feel good inside, and you know that you contributed to maybe them having a better day than they possibly could have. But there were a lot of changes I had to make. So story time on that fact. I had, going back, ADHD, something that might have triggered me and triggered my ego. I had a job interview. I had submitted the application back in the middle of December, and they didn't finally reach out to me until the first week of January, asking if I could come in last Tuesday. So it was for a winery tasting room position for just 2 days a week on a Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know many people that want to commit to only Saturdays and Sundays. If you have a social life or a family, it's difficult. So I thought, I'm a shoo-in. I'm a hard worker. I can show up every Saturday and Sunday. Plus, the benefit for me was it'd take me off the streets 2 days a week to save some gas money because I do have to budget my gas because I'm on a severe budget right now. And during the interview, there were several red flags that presented themselves. So we had a nice chit chat. He had his questions written down. And in a side comment, he said, are you okay with Saturdays and Sundays? I said, oh, yes. I'm very flexible. He says, well, we've had a hard time keeping people in this position. Red flag number one. And then progressively, chit-chatting some more about knowing the local vendors. And I've lived in this town for 10 years, and our town is a very small town. So I am familiar with all the vendors in the area. And he said, yeah, typically everybody, they tend to gather in the courtyard outside their tasting rooms here, and everybody just kind of chit-chats for the majority of the day. Well, red flag number two, are they not giving their staff member enough to-do items throughout the day? And two, are you not booking tastings during the week for the weekends? Because I'd say they have 5 days a week to book their weekends out. And what else could the Saturday, Sunday person be doing to encourage that? Also, besides taking phone calls for the next weekends and upcoming weekends. So there were two major red flags. One, they can't keep somebody in the position. And two, it's so slow that, and I know it's slow because the tasting room is in a really poor location, off the street, in a back alley. And when I say alley, it's not a dark alley. It's a beautiful courtyard, but it doesn't get as much traffic or walk-ins. So there's that. So then on Friday, I received an email from them saying that they had other candidates ahead of me that they'd like to consider, but thank you very much. So, okay, I wasn't, and it stung, and my ego stung because it's like, oh, there are other people better than I, but not everybody's going to like me. I did the best I could during that interview, whereas I wasn't as desperate as I was before, because I noted the red flags during the interview process. It's like, okay, they have a challenge keeping people here. So that's pretty huge. And while I was disappointed and let down, I turned it around because of all the joy I'd been bringing into my life. It wasn't as big of a disappointment as it would have been 4 months ago, 6 months ago. Because being rejected for a 2-day-a-week job 6 months ago would have sent me spiraling. It's like, I can't even get a 2-day-a-week job. Well, it's not about me. I'm sure they found the person that they're going to want to work with. It's all about personality, and who knows what the reason is, but that's on them. I know I went into it and did the best I could and gave all my knowledge. I put it out on the table. So I did my best. But the following day, while it was a little the next day on the Saturday was full of positives. And like I said, I have, I woke up in the morning, I said, universe, send me a glorious, joyous, miraculous gift today. And it did. in a really interesting way. I was in our local grocery store, and I was on the phone talking to one of our customers on the cat food that she had requested was out of stock. So I was going over what was in stock because she wasn't answering the text that's included within the app. If you use the DoorDash app, please look at the text that your dasher might send you, because it's entirely frustrating when it's just radio silence and we can't get the answers we need. But to help you. So when I didn't get a response via text, I gave her a call, and she's like, "Oh, hi." And I've delivered to her before, and I know she's super busy. She probably just did her order, walked away from the computer or her phone, and single mom of 2, and just went about her life. So I called her and I said, "Hey, they're out of the product that you want, but here are your options." So we were discussing that. And as soon as I hung up with her, this girl was in my aisle, and she kind of sheepishly walked up to me. I don't want to say girl. It was a woman in her young 20s. And she said, are you a delivery person?" And I said, "Yes." And she exclaimed that she is disabled, and there are some days where she just can't even get out of the house, and how we save her, and that she's so thankful for our service and what we do, because she doesn't know what she'd do without the service. And she just kept saying, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. I don't know what you do." And that is just it. That's the reason why I'm okay with what I do, is because we provide a service. I get paid for it to help those that need the service. And there's more people in this town that need the service and use it as a means for accessibility. And so that made me proud, and just reiterated to myself, and I knew my ego was healing, and I'm getting good with myself and more balanced. This is the upside to what I do. I get to help people. So there it is. I get to do charity work. I get to help senior citizens. I get to help young adults. I get to help all sorts of people. And so I'll just conclude with that. And remember, you're not healing from trauma. You know, we're in the healing process right now. Everybody is at some stage of their life. You're not healing from trauma, pain, anxiety, and depression. You're used to that. I mean, that's what we're used to. It's already a part of you. You're learning, you're healing to be able to handle the joy and accept happiness back into your life. And that's the best part. Next week's topic, manifestation. I hope you have a wonderful and joyous day. Signing off for now. Love you. Bye.